I turned an old Hobonichi Weeks into my finance tracker, a perpetual finance tracker. Let me explain. Hi friends, it's Mari from Mari Hirai Archives. So, okay, this calculator, we're not going to use it. It was just there for aesthetics. But how cute is this calculator? I don't use it as much, but let's put this aside to get it out of the way. Okay, so let's talk about this. So I have been trying to create a fitness tracker years and years, and I decided to take this old 2021 Hobonichi Weeks and repurpose it to create a finance tracker that is basically perpetual, meaning like I can use it year after year until the pages run out, and there's enough pages here probably to last me a few years. It's a fairly easy system. I combine it with digital with my phone as far as budgeting goes. I use an app called You Need a Budget, or YNAB. So I do track my spending on there because it does the math for me, which is great because I don't like doing math because I always mess it up. But that is the budget app that I use in conjunction with this. This is more of like a documenting, keeping track of things, helping me see how much I'm spending on certain things and so forth. But if you guys are interested in knowing about YNAB, or you need a budget, there's tons of like tutorials that you can find on YouTube. I can actually also link my referral link. I'm not sponsored at all, but I do have a referral link because I do subscribe to them. So I'll link that down below if you guys are interested in learning about that. And if you guys ever want to like know my system, like the comment or like the video and then like comment below, because if there's enough interest, I'll do the work to make the video. But yeah, so basically I took this Hobonichi Weeks and went ahead and created a system for me. So let me show you what I mean. Okay, so I chose this cover because it's perfect, because this is a home finance, a journal planner, and the chair, yeah. So inside, I just stuck stickers on here that it's like a vision board, basically things that we want to do, financial freedom, right, to be able to do these things. Just a reminder, like, to remember why we're spending money, and just to keep our goals a priority. So, but yeah, and then I have this little card. I had this for a long time, but it says, feel content, nobody gets everything they want. There'll always be something, new problems arise. Instead of striving for perfection, strive for contentedness. Find a way to be happy with what you already have, and you will always have exactly what you need. And that's like the perfect quote for me, because I used to spend a lot of money back in the day, and so this feeling, the strive for contentedness, it reminds me to just chill. Okay, so let me just double check to make sure there's no personal information on this one. And yeah, okay, we're good. All right, so I put this sticker down. It says, do small things with great love. Just a great reminder. And I have a couple of quotes here that, again, it says, the most reliable way to predict future is to create it. And it's so important to have something like this just so you can, see what you're doing. And then another quote says, sunshine is delicious, rain is refreshing, wind braces up, snow is exhilarating. There's no such thing as bad weather, only different kinds of good weather. And that's a good reminder that, like, especially in finance, there's things that happen. There's ups and downs, and And no matter what happens, it's, a perspective. But yeah, okay. So anyways, let's go back. So what I do is I actually washi tape these two pages together because I don't need the yearly page at all. So I just washi taped it so it's kind of out of the way. I don't have to worry about it. And then for this page I have is a savings tracker for 2024. And I haven't done anything for 2025 because our main goal is to pay down the last of our debts that we do have. But I like this because, like I said, it's perpetual. So there's enough spaces all the way up to like 2030, 2035, I think. But yeah, so the way I have it is I just have each colored rectangle is equal to a certain amount. In this case, it says 100. And so that's what I have here. And then for 2025, obviously, hopefully we'll be able to get some money saved up for our savings. But for now, we were able to save the previous year. So today or this year, we can kind of focus on getting the last of our debts paid off. And then it's just nice to have everything all in one spot, especially when it comes to savings tracker. And I have this tabbed off for 2024 because you'll see usually in the Hobonichi weeks it always has like that December page. And so I did start this last year in December, and I was trying to catch up. Well, not catch up, but trying to input all our December spending. And it was a lot because there's just so much going on. So I just kind of tipped in a sheet of paper and kind of listed what I spent. And so like towards the end, I can actually put it in there. But as you can see, I just basically redated everything. I whited out all the days and then just added the correct days for it. I know it's kind of tedious, but this has to be done because it is an older and you want to repurpose it. So it's just one of those things. And honestly, it doesn't take too long if you like maybe set a day to get this done. I think this took me like a total of a day as far as hours. But anyway, so yeah, so I tipped in this paper just so I can keep track of what we're spending. And then I have a list in the back to show or to kind of put what the total was. So yeah, so the monthly is what I use to just track spending. I use my app to do it automatically for me, and then I can just log in what the total was every day. So I don't have to do all the math. And yeah, and so like I said, I just kind of redated it. White. I did the white out for the numbers, and then just put the correct numbers on there. Let me pull you guys closer. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Okay, yeah. So that's what I did. Was I just basically and then of course, like I said, I just track, and I do it in categories. Mostly it's like groceries, gas, takeout, treats like Starbucks run, and I just put the total for each category of what we of what we spend. And so yeah, and then I didn't put anything here. I'm not sure what to put in there, but I guess as time goes by I might figure out what we're going to put down there. But it says monthly goals, but I don't think I already put monthly, our goals already has been set. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. But that's pretty much it. It's as simple as it can come. Like I try to not make it too complicated for myself. So yep, and so you see I've redated all the months. And let's see. And then this is what I mean for 2026. So we know like the back of the Hobonichi weeks, they always do like the 3 months ahead in the next year. And so what I did, and so I marked it by these tabs. So this one is indicating this is for 2026. So this is December 2025. And then in, like I said, like it has the 3 months in advance, so I just white out the numbers, and then I will eventually put the real numbers or the correct numbers for that year. And yeah, it's such a simple system, but I do like being able to just white it out and use it for the next year. And the whiteout I use, it doesn't look too distracting, so which is good. And then of course, so like we're into March of what Hobonichi has, and so this is what I mean by utilizing, and again, I just washi taped to kind of put all the sheets that I don't need together to get it so it's not so distracting. And this is what I mean with the weeks. So there is a ton. This is the weeks, right? The weeks layout. And there is a ton of pages in the back. And so what I did was I just copied the monthly layout on this one. Now it's kind of tedious to do this, like I said, but it's just one of those things that we have to just push through. But yeah, as you can see, there's plenty of pages in the back that'll last years and years and years. So I would probably say, I don't know, I mean, 12, probably like 3 or 4 years. So it's a good amount. And so like I said, this can be used year after year. And yep, so you just kind of lay out, draw out your mat or your months, draw out the boxes, and then there's a lot of space on the bottom, so not sure what we're going to do with that, but we'll just keep it blank for now. And yeah, it's super simple. It just makes it more, I don't know, sustainable. I feel like if I have to continue writing things down, that it's just, it feels like homework. So I like this layout so far that I'm using for the monthly spread. And it allows me to utilize my budget app to do all kind of the hard work as far as calculating everything. All right, so next we have what is the collections. And this is what I use. And actually, this is old, so I'm just going to go ahead and white that out right now. But what I'm saying is that the note sections is where all the listing or the trackers are. And I'll go over what kind of lists I have, and maybe you can get some good ideas. Maybe some of these will work for you. But these are just the items that I need specifically for my budgeting purposes. You can always add or subtract what you don't need. Obviously, you can customize it however you like based on how you budget and what your family needs are and what you want to track. But these are the items that I am tracking. So let's go over it. So the first one is my online purchases tracking. And so since I started this, it was perfect because I started this back in like November, December. And so that was during like my stationery purchases. And this is a great way to keep track of what I'm buying. And then look at this cute little sticker. It's like perfect. It's like a little cat with a register and trying to take money out of it. But yeah, so it's I call it the online purchase tracking. And I have 3 columns. Well, 3 columns. And I have the date here for the date that the items were purchased. And then on the big section, it's just the store or the item or the shop or the location. I mean, not too many like information, just whatever I feel. Like I don't want to make it too complicated for myself, just whatever information at that time that I want to include. And then I created these little boxes on the right side. And as you can see, it says shipped, received, kept, and returned. And you know, when I place purchases and they'll notify you like, oh, it's been shipped, I will go ahead and mark it or color in that box. And then once I receive it, I'll color that in. And then if I want to keep it or return, I'll even put this like, so you see I've returned one item. And that's only because it didn't fit me. Otherwise, I would have kept it because it was super, super cute. And so I went ahead and created the same layout for several pages to kind of hold me over for the next few years, hopefully. I don't know, maybe it's a way for me to like not spend too much because I will run out of space. I don't know if that'll work, but hey, I'll take it. So, but yeah, so I've created the extra pages for it. And then the next one that I have is a returns/refunds tracker. I return a lot of things, especially Amazon things. Luckily, this was made like during like the beginning of the holiday season, because that would have been a mess. That would have been a lot to catch up on. But actually, I do have one item that I need to go ahead and log in here. But as you can see, what I do is the same thing: date, the item, the amount of money, and then if it was dropped off, like if I dropped it off, and then once it's processed and once it's complete. So this kind of allows me to kind of track like, okay, because sometimes once you get so many returns, or when you do so many returns, you can forget, and then one day you're thinking like, hold up, did I get that $200 back? So, but let me go ahead and add one return. I just remembered last week that I had an Amazon return. Just gonna put the date, what it was, from where, and then the amount of money. And then I have not dropped it off. It has been in my car riding with me for the past week. Actually, I need to drop that off this week sometime. But yeah, so super simple process. And I think the most tedious part of this is just creating the layouts for each page. But it's totally worth it. Okay, so next one is I use Klarna a lot. I love Klarna and like Afterpay and like ShopPay. It just, I don't know. It's just so much, it's easier for me. But anyway, so if you guys use that too, I created this tracker as well to help me keep track of my purchases and each payment that I've made. So if you kind of look closer, and because it's like obviously pay in 4, I created the 4 columns for each one. And as you can see, I have put like what the shop, the date, and then the 4 columns, like when the first, second, third, and fourth payments are due. And so what I do is I just add the amount for each payment, and then the date, and then I just kind of mark it off as I pay. And if I complete it, it's paid off, I'll just check mark it. So I like this tracker. I like this layout. It's actually really satisfying to close out those boxes. Sometimes it motivates me to like close those boxes because I'm like, okay, look, I have 3 boxes that I can close. Like I should just close it all. But yeah, so it's a great tracker. So I don't know if this layout might work for you, but it has worked for me. Okay, so next we have just now this goes into like my monthly subscription list, so I can keep track of what I have. And then I have the columns on here, like what the service is, if it's reoccurring, or what the product is, if it's reoccurring, the amount, and then the status if it's active or paused. And so I have that in pencil so I can easily just erase, because sometimes I stop and pause different subscriptions depending on our budget. And so that makes it nice that I can just erase and just do that. And then this is just a list of our monthly bills, nothing too exciting. And what I just put is like what the service bill is, the amount, if it's what the recurring is, if it's like monthly, weekly, bi-weekly, and then any notes that I want to put on there. All right. I thought I covered everything up, but obviously I didn't, so I had to blur some of the stuff. But this is the list of our debts and loans. I know you probably can't see it because the blurs. But this is the layout that I chose to do it. That was simple for me. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns. It just has the date, the limit, the interest, the current balance, the monthly payment, and then if I paid it off. And then the next page, I just have it in descending balance order. This is just kind of a plan for me. This is the plan that I decided to do to pay off debts, was to do it in descending order. Just because I like just knocking off the smallest one. And so, yeah, I have the debt, the balance, the monthly payment, and then if it's paid off. And then this next is like a payment tracker, which is a really fun thing that I did for the first debt that we paid off. And I just used stamps, and then I just had each house represent a certain amount, and then as I paid that, I colored it in. And so I reserved a few pages to do for the other debts that we are paying off, just so it's a fun little thing. I haven't figured out what I'm going to do, but obviously I'm going to use stamps because that's the easiest thing, because I am not drawing. I used to draw my trackers, and it was too tedious. They look pretty though, but not sustainable for me. All right, towards the end, I do have where we track our spending yearly. Like if we have any, or specific events, like if we have any vacation or travel, I put the location, the items and expenses. Like I'm not going to list everything out, but it's going to say like hotel, air flight, or gas, just so I can kind of have a log of how much we're spending for each like vacation or event that we're doing. And that way I can kind of plan accordingly and just kind of look back and be like, oh, okay, we spent $1,000 here. So if we want to go here, we're probably going to be spending the same amount. And so I did the same thing for a lot of the holidays, like Thanksgiving dinner. We do spend money on Thanksgiving dinner. So that gives me a good idea what we spend year after year. And then Christmas spending, that's like super priority for us because it's a huge thing for us. So we're always spending a lot. But I like having these trackers because it allows me to kind of look at what is more important to us. You know, and for example, like Thanksgiving dinner, yeah, like we keep it at like $200 budget. But for Christmas, like say if we want to, like last Christmas, we probably spent a little bit over $1,000. So this year, you know, we want to either stay that, or it kind of gives me an idea like, okay, based on the economy, you're most likely going to be spending $1,200, $1,500. So that allows me to kind of plan accordingly with my budget and see what our priorities are and put our money where it should go. And of course, I did not bleep out one, so I had that's a huge square. Sorry about that. Okay, so this last part of the Hobonichi, it is we are trying to like declutter and sell things that we don't need or want. So this is just a tracker for us to keep track of what we sell, the date, the item, what marketplace, if it was like Facebook Marketplace, Etsy, or whatever, and how much we made, and then what we put it towards, whether it's personal stuff, debt, Klarna payments. But yeah, so I've done the layout for several pages over to hold me out. And then this one is our project spending log. One of my passions as well is interior decorating. And so I'm constantly like trying to do projects around this house. Luckily, this is a brand new house that we bought, but I've been adding character to it. And so we've had several projects already that we started. So this was a good way for me to, and this is in conjunction with my home design notebook that I currently have, but this allows me to kind of break it down like, okay, for the mudroom, we spent X amount of money. For this library studio, we spent X amount of money. So it's just a great way to kind of look at it and see what our spending is. And then towards the end, where it says the My 100, so these are just future purchases that we want, like for the house, for the vehicle, for me and my husband, and our kids. They're kind of wish list. But yeah, so that's there. And that's pretty much it. like I said, this is in conjunction with me using my budget app to do like the act of paying my bills and stuff like that. But this allows me to have like a book for to store my financial records, to track our spending, and it's just a cool way to archive current or past events. Hopefully, you got some ideas from this. But like I said, it is perpetual for me, so I'll be able to use this year after year until I run out of paper. And so I'm really excited about this. I'm glad that I have some kind of system because I was struggling in the past trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. And I'm just glad that it's working out for me, and maybe this will help you get some ideas. And if you guys want to know about like how I budget and how I use the app in conjunction to this, let me know in the comments. And like I said, if there's enough interest, I'll do the work and get all of it done. But thanks for joining me today. I hope this helped, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.